Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, That Model Railway Guy, and welcome to yet another live stream. We're here today at the slightly earlier time on this lovely Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock. We're doing a bit of a different sort of thing today. Just seeing if the different time works. Doing it at the weekend. Thought we could do it during the day as well because perhaps there might be some people who can tune in who can't necessarily tune in when I do the evening ones. We're going to see how this goes. We're going to see whether it works, whether any of you guys actually tune in for this, or whether you're all too out busy enjoying the sunshine that has sort of come out today. This is the final of my 5K subscriber live streams. And it's a big one today. We're going to be doing another big running session. But when I say big, I really do mean big because, that we have got lots of locos for you guys to request today. So many more locos. I've been busy putting decoders in a lot of locos. You can see we've got the D class there sitting in the station. We're going to get that up and running in a little bit as well. But before I do that, let's just quickly we'll get the D class running now. And then I'll talk to the chat because there's no point in sitting here looking at a train all stationary while I talk to you guys. So let's hope this has been a bit jerky today. I don't know why. It normally isn't like this, but and then it stops on the it's decided to stop. We're off to a good start. It's decided to stall on the double slip there. So I'll see if I can get it going again. There we go. Off at a bit of a faster speed now. I'll just slow that down. There you go, you can see it disappearing into the tunnel. And it's, for some reason, I don't know why it's suddenly stalling all of a sudden. That's really weird. It's not been doing that. I mean, I have run it on the live stream last week, I think. And, it's being a little bit of a misbehavior today. Anyway, you should see it coming round under the bridge at the top left of your screen just now. Fingers crossed, it'll all work. But let's go to the chat and see what everyone is saying. I can see Railway 187. Hello, everyone, on this sunny Sunday afternoon. Oh, a bit of a stall there from the engine again. And that's a bit weird, isn't it? Lewis Cartwright has said he's got some more nameplates for Hurricane and Captain Tom Moore. Oh, fantastic. Mark Hemmeldown is here as well. Liam Worth as well, who says this is the only one that I can watch in my time zone. Oh, well, fantastic. That is one of the reasons for doing it at this earlier time zone, at this earlier time slot as well, is so that people who can't normally tune in, who might not necessarily be in the UK, can tune in as well, so that it's not in the middle of the night for them. Railway 187 says, I like that bridge on the layout. Yeah, I like it too. Ebden Muddle is here. Hello. Sparky129 is here as well. J. Pedro Rocha says, hi from Portugal. Railway 187 says very different light at the layout. Yeah, it's because it's daytime. I'm not having to use the layout lighting today. I'm just literally running this off of daylight. So, in fact, I had so much daylight, I had to shut one of the blinds on the windows because it was messing up the camera. So, yeah, you couldn't really see anything apart from the outside world, the real world. But yeah, so that D class seems to be. Oh, I was just about to compliment it, saying that it was doing quite nicely, and then it decided to sort of jerk to a stop on that Insel Frog point there. But oh well. Who else have we got? Lewis Cartwright says, John Riley. Hello, John. That's my uncle. Says, hi from Selby. Just coming from the garden and found this was happening. Oh, fantastic. Well, glad you could join us. Zachary K says, good evening from Australia. Love the back scene. Thank you, Zachary. It's great to have you all the way from Australia. That's really awesome. We've had lots of comments about the back scene, funnily enough. This is really just a temporary thing that I put up here so that you can't see me wandering around in the background. But yeah, this is the sort of the old Pico back scene. It's a bit worn and a bit faded now, but it was from my original layout when I was a kid. And so, is the D-Class going to stall on this point as it comes round? Oh, it's a little bit sort of, it's kind of getting there. Maybe we should choose a different engine. In fact, let's slow the D-Class down. I said I'll slow the D-Class down. I completely missed the point there. So we'll reverse that into the station. There we go. And as I talk about different engines, I will remind you that if you want to see a particular loco on the stream today, I keep going to say this evening, but it's actually this afternoon, isn't it? But if you would like to see a particular loco this afternoon, we do have I do have a roster of locos. This is the roster of locos that you can see. However, this is not all of them because we have some more locos on another page. So you will see that there are some changes to this page. Most notably, on that top row there, the second one along, Rocket. We have Rocket on the layout today. So if you would like to see Rocket running around the layout, please do send in a super chat, and that would be awesome because I'm partly curious to see what happens with it, and I'm partly terrified because it could all go horribly wrong. So yeah, if you would like to see that happen, or like to see what, go on a journey with me and find out just how well the Rocket copes with this layout, that would be very interesting. So please do send in a super chat for that. We also have the web coal tank as well down at the bottom right there, and I think everything else is stuff you've seen before. But wait, there is more, because not only do we have all these lovely little tank engines here, and the Ruston as well, which I don't think counts as a tank engine, but we also we've got some tender engines. Yeah, look at that. We've got a whole nother page of tender engines now. And some of these you will have seen before. For example, the SECRD class we've had running on the layout just a moment ago was being a bit of a misbehavior. The J15, the schools class, and the J36, they're also ones that we've seen on previous streams as well over the last couple of weeks. However, the new entrants are, at the top there, Flying Scotsman. Yes, we have Flying Scotsman on the layout today. That's got a lovely rake of teak coaches behind it, so if you would like to see that, do send in a super chat. We've also got H2 Atlantic Beachy Head, which is a really nice backman model, actually. I believe they were quite overpriced when they came out. I say overpriced, that was overpriced for a few years ago. It's probably quite reasonable now. But actually, they came down in price. They got discounted quite heavily, and I snapped one up when they were on offer. And it's actually a really nice little loco. We also have the Thompson B1 as well, a lovely little loco there. There's nothing really little about it. It's a big old steam engine, and that's got a nice rake of blood and custard coaches behind it, so if you'd like to see that. And then at the bottom left there, we have the LNER J15. Which I did a review on a couple of weeks ago. So, yeah, hopefully you guys will want to see some of those. Do send in a super chat if you would like to see any of these locos. And, yeah. Zachary Cave says, how on earth did the coda fit inside that tiny rocket? Yeah, I couldn't believe it. It's inside the barrel, funnily enough. So yeah, anyway, let's go back to, we'll go back to the stream now. And if you want to see any of those particular locos running, the ticker along the bottom is listing them all. So if you can't remember what they are, yeah. Anyway, I think right now, what am I going to run? Well, I think we need to get... Let's clear the we'll clear the D class from the points slightly, so just so we can make some space. Oh, I've gone into the wrong app on my phone, and that wasn't particularly helpful. So let me just pull a bit forwards on the D class. There we go, and I'm just going to clear the points back there. There we go, and that means. Oh, we've got a super chat already from Sparky129 who says, "Hi, I would love to see the Flying Scotsman running with that lovely back scene." Well, we can absolutely do that for you. Thank you so much, Sparky129. And in fact, I was just about to get something else running, but we will scrap those plans, and we're going to get Flying Scotsman running right now. I don't think I've tested Flying Scotsman yet, so this is going to be interesting. Right, so what I need to do then, in that case, I don't trust myself to run Scotsman through Platform 2 because of that curve in there. So let's go to the station, and we're going to scrap the plans to... keep the D class in the loop. Oh, I'm controlling the wrong locus here. We will get some locos running in a minute, guys. Just because I've got so many locos now on the layout, I have to do quite a lot of scrolling to get through things. Yeah, this D class is not happy today. I don't know why. It probably needs its pickups cleaning or something is going a little bit funny with it. But yeah, what I shall do, I'll send that off into the tunnel, into the fiddle yard, and we'll get the Flying Scotsman out in just a moment for Sparky129. Great super chat, absolutely fantastic request there. Thank you so much for that, Sparky129. And it's you've got us off to a great start there, I think. So I'm going to scroll through to Flying Scotsman on my little app here, and I am going to find the. There we go. We're going to find that shot there. Right, everyone cross your fingers. Again, all these new locos, I haven't really had a chance to test them. I literally finished putting decoders in them this morning. So this is the first time I think Scotsman has run round the layout. Everyone cross your fingers, because this could be interesting. But here it comes now, under the bridge, Flying Scotsman in its, I believe this is the 2004 preserved livery that it had when it was at the NRM. Oh, it's derailed. It's derailed already. Yep. Oh, of course, that was bound to happen, wasn't it? Right. Okie doke. Let me sort that out. Is that going to behave? Probably not. Okay. It's all right, Sparky129. We will get this running in just a second for you. Right. A little bit of faffing around there, but hopefully I'm going to bring it into the station now. It may no. I think it might just be those coaches. Never mind. It's decoupled from the coaches again. What I'm going to do is bring it into the station so you can see it properly, and then I'll couple up the coaches behind it. So here it is. There you go. You can see it in a bit more light now. But I'm going to bring these coaches around behind it. There we go. Now I think everything. Yeah, that feels like it's on the track properly now. So, what shall I do? We'll get it running again. Hopefully, this will work nicely. And there we go. Off it goes. Does look good with those teak coaches, doesn't it? And there we go on the fisheye camera there. And then disappearing underneath the tunnel. Right. This is going to be the interesting one. Will it make it through the fiddle yard point work all right? I'm curious to see about that. So it seems to be doing it all right so far. It may well be that it just doesn't like this. On the top left of your screen there's a particularly dodgy joint in the track that some locos don't like. It may well be that Flying Scotsman is just one of those that it doesn't like. I'm going to keep an eye on it now as it goes round. And we'll see what actually happens here, if anything happens. Yeah, okay, so it's happening on that joint of track. Never mind, I have a plan. I'm going to stop it here, and I'm going to sort it out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take it off the track. We'll run it round in the opposite direction, and hopefully that will solve the problem. It wouldn't be a live stream without some fun and games, would it? So there we go. Oh, I've left it moving. There we go. I just looked at it very quickly and noticed that it was actually moving. So what I'm going to do, the Scotsman is going to disappear for a moment, but it is coming back. I'm going to move the coaches up a bit. I'm going to try putting it on the track the other way around, and we're going to see if that makes any difference. We're going to see if this makes it run a little bit nicer. And all being well, now this is where you get to see me fumbling around with locos. What I probably should have done is put this on the track in the fiddle yard and then run it round, but okay, that seems to be on the track. Right, everybody cross your fingers. Let's hope that this works, because this could be an interesting one. Okie doke. Right, take 3. Is this going to work? Let's go back to that field shot and see if it derails as it goes over that track joint. Oh. Do you know what? I think that's done it. It's worked. Oh, now the coaches are derailing. So it may well be then that we just have to do a little bit of a shuttle with the Scotsman then. This is really annoying. Oh, I'm so annoyed by this. Right, hang on. Okay. So maybe if I just run it light for a bit, we'll see if we can do that. Yeah, this has all gone horribly wrong, hasn't it? Okay, right, let me go back to that screen so you can sort of see roughly what's happening, but I'm going to just get the Scotsman. See, if it's a track issue like that, there's not a huge amount I can do about it, sort of, you know, on the stream immediately, which is a bit annoying. Right, so I'm just going to get these coaches out of the way. Apologies if you hear some banging and scraping in the background as I try to wrangle rolling stock. And right, I've got those coaches off, so we're going to see now if Scotsman will run round on its own, light engine, because I think it might well just be that it didn't like those coaches, and the coaches were actually causing it to derail. So we'll see what happens this time. It's going to come from the tunnel, so from the bottom left of your screen this time, or the bottom right. Sorry, yeah, my other left and my other right. Right, so let's try it running light, see if this works. We can always try some other carriages with it if this does work. You can see it coming around, so the sound down the bottom left now, and then through the station on the top right. Okay, this is going to be interesting. I'm going to keep a close eye on it again. Is this going to work? Is it going to work, guys? Oh, here we go. No, it's derailed again. The top of it is gone. Yeah, it doesn't like that track joints. Okay, let me try running it around. Right, let's do this then. If this doesn't work, Sparky, I'm going to say you get another loco to request because this has been a bit of a dud. I made all that sort of noise about saying that you know we've got all these fancy new locos on the layout today, and we've tried the first one and it's not really run properly. So yeah, I feel a bit bad if you sent in a super chat and didn't get to see it run properly. Right, is it going to work this time round? Oh, that seems no, it's the tender this time. That's really bizarre. Oh right, okay. Well look, I'm sorry, Sparky, but it's kind of not really worked as I'd have liked. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the points to platform 2. We're going to bring Scotsman in really carefully here so that it doesn't scrape along the platform. And I'm going to park it in platform 2. If you let me know in the chat if you'd like to see another loco run round, yeah, just give me a shout. And because I think that's a bit unfair that you requested a loco, you sent in a super chat, and you barely got to see it run. In the meantime, though, I'm going to park it there. What am I going to get out in response? Shall we? Let's go for something that is. Yeah, let's go for a green loco, shall we? Let's try another tender engine in that case and see what happens. But hopefully it's not going to affect all of the tender engines. So I'm going to try bring something out now. Right, I really need you to all cross your fingers on this troublesome bit of track. It just goes to show that no loco or no railway is ever perfect, isn't it? I know we normally have a pretty good track record here. Hey, track record of stuff running particularly well on here. Oh, do you know what? I think that's derailed as well. I don't know why this bit of track is suddenly refusing to work properly. Or has it derailed? I don't think it has actually. Well, anyway, this is the Thompson B1. I'm going to try and get a closer look at it as it goes past, but no, it actually has stayed on the track. Oh, fantastic. Oh, well, we can keep running this for a while then. So anyway, this is the Thompson B1, a lovely little Hornby loco, and we'll keep the Flying Scotsman there in the meantime until if we ever need to move it. Sparky129 says, oh, well, that's not quite working. Could you please run the J15? Oh, fantastic. So we shall run the J15 then instead. So I shall get the J15 onto the front of this train, actually, that we're running at the moment. See, I think the J15 will look quite nice with blood and custard coaches. And also, good on you, Sparky, as well, because I think you know that the J15 is quite a good little runner. Now, I've got to find out where I put it. Oh, I've just noticed where I put it. It's in the siding next to where the Flying Scotsman is blocking. So actually, this is a nice little opportunity because we get to do some shunting, and as you all know, I like shunting. There was a hint of sarcasm there. I actually do quite like it. Anyway, let's get the Thompson running again. I'm going to bring this round into the platform if everything stays on the track. I haven't put it back on the track properly, have I? Oh, yes, I have. Okay. Or if I hadn't, it sorted itself out. So here it comes around now. And then round the rest of the corner into platform 1. What we're going to have to do then is we're going to have to move the Scotsman back slightly to get the J15 out of the siding. So right, there is the oh, no, sorry. Go backwards. My phone isn't playing along with me today. Right. Okay. So, Scotsman, we need to move that one backwards just a bit so I can release the J15, which is sitting in a siding in the yard, but the yard comes off of platform 2. So I'm just going to move that back. And on the main line it says, can you run Scotsman with some teaks if you haven't it? Yeah, we just tried that. It didn't really work. Sparky129 says, maybe it's the four-wheel tender that might be a problem, maybe. So yeah, I think the problem is there's a dodgy bit of track or a dodgy sort of connection on... I'm just going to uncouple the loco here, if I can. If it's going to play ball, there we go. There's a dodgy connection on the track between those two modules. And it doesn't. It's been playing up for a while, but it's not always been that bad. Okay, so what am I going to do here? I'm going to have to bring this forward into the sheds, I think. So let me We're doing a real creep forwards here, but I'm gonna get going. And hopefully, once we get this out of the way, we can get the J15 out of the yard. You can see the J15 there is in the siding on the main, just next to the main line there. And I'm going to put the B1 into the shed. Hopefully, this will fit, unlike the D-Class. I've tried to put that in the other day. Oh, just about. There's about a millimetre of clearance there. Oh, but I've forgotten that I've left another engine in there, so it's not going in any further. Oh, it's all going horribly. Well, it's not really going horribly wrong. It's a user error, isn't it? Anyway, so the J15 though is there. We can get that running, and hopefully that will be a bit better behaved if I can find it in the app. So I need to switch the points. It's come out of siding 1. And there we go. You can see the J15 is moving now. And we'll run that back into the platform. So this is coming into platform 2. It's almost like a steam gala, this, isn't it? And so then we need to flip all of the points to make sure that we can get out of platform 2 onto the main line, and then we can back up onto those coaches and send the train on its way. You know, it's a good job I'm not in charge of doing any real life shunting, because I'd be useless at it, wouldn't I? Everything would take far too long. Mind you, I am trying to sort of run at relatively realistic speeds here. And then I can flip that point to go back. And we'll imagine that the signalman has given him a green flag or something so that he knows when to go. And we're going to back up onto these blood and custard coaches. I think technically these coaches are GWR coaches, but I don't care. They look good with the J15, so it's my railway. I'm going to run what I want. Rule 1, all right? Right, okie doke. So we've got that going. In fact, I say we've got that going. It hasn't actually started on the layout yet, but it is running now. Is this going to work, everybody? This should work. There's no reason why it shouldn't. Just checking I've got all my points set correctly. Hopefully this all works. Well, everything seems to be working so far. Let me go back to that shot there. I have just noticed as well that the rear coach doesn't seem to have a gangway on it, which is interesting. I presume that must have fallen off somewhere, and it'll be somewhere in this room. Well, it's made it over that dodgy bit of track all right, so I'm quite pleased about that. And then it's going past Flying Scotsman now. And actually, speaking of Flying Scotsman, what we can do is we can put that into the siding where the J15 was. So we can get a little bit of extra running out of the Scotsman. Here we go. I'm just going to very slowly crawl that because it's shunting within platform limits, isn't it? So there you go. So it's going to disappear off the top right screen and appear on the bottom left in any second now. It's a big engine, so you shouldn't miss it. There it is. Meanwhile, at the top left, the J15 is happily trundling around the layout. Oh! I've very, very nearly crashed into the back of another loco there with the Scotsman. Do you know what, actually, that Scotsman, the Scotsman is so big that it's practically obscuring the entire view of the main line. Are we going to be able to actually see the J15 as it goes round? Oh, you could just about see it. That's all right. Yeah, all right, we'll leave it there for a bit. If it gets too annoying, oh! We've got another super chat, everybody. We've got one from Mark, Hemmeldown Model Railway. I assume when it says MR at the end, it's Model Railway and not something else. Midland Railway, maybe? No, I'm assuming it's Model Railway. And they say, great 5K special, let's fire up the rocket. Oh, go on then, yeah, we'll get the rocket running. We're going to, tell you what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave the J15 running for a little bit longer, just because I think we need to make sure the Sparky gets to actually see a train run that he's requested. So we'll let this do a couple more laps. Meanwhile, I shall get Rocket up and running. Actually, do you know what I can do? I can get everything sorted in the fiddle yard by sending the J15 through a different road. Do you know what? I almost feel like I should have a camera on the fiddle yard at some point, because so you can actually see the craziness that is going on behind the scenes. Or just like an overview of the room in general, because it is a bit mad what happens in here. Anyway, let me see. So I think I have the rocket. Now, I'm going to say with the rocket, the decoder, I've got a Zimmo decoder in it, which I've normally liked Zimmo decoders, but this particular decoder, well, actually, I don't know if it's the decoder or if it's the Loco. It's having a bit of a, well, it's basically got two speeds, on and off. Now, the on speed isn't too bad. It's probably a bit faster than what Rocket would have done in reality. But yeah, we shall. Well, you'll see. It sort of has a, yeah, it's a bit of an on and off thing. Anyway, let's talk. Let's go through some of the chats, because with all that craziness with the Scotsman, I have been sort of neglecting the chat a little bit. So on the main line it says, can you run the B2 Peckett with some four-wheel coaches? I absolutely could do that on the main line. If you're happy to send in a super chat, then I'll be more than happy to run that. Kingston Junction Model Railway says, all right, I'm going to head off. Thanks for the stream. Cheers. Thanks, Kingston Junction. I presume you're probably long gone by now, but thanks for tuning in when you did. Sparky129, I presume this is in response to the track not being right. Sparky129 says, is there any way to fix that? And if so, how hard will it be? So, in theory, it should just be just checking that joint, that joint on the module, you know, where the two modules join together, and just making sure the track is aligned properly. The thing is, I have sort of soldered those track joints and tried to make it better. I think I've possibly made it worse. So it's probably not too hard to do if you know what you're doing, or if you're good at it. Unfortunately, I'm not very good at it, so it might need a bit of work. The thing I have kind of really discovered with these modules, these were the first two I built, and so I made a lot of mistakes on them. And you know, they're I mean, obviously scenically, I'm really happy with them. They're great because you know, they're the first sort of proper modeling I ever did. However, there are little quirks, a bit sort of like, you know, that joint in the track, and things that aren't particularly great about them as the J15 goes through there. And so, yeah, I think it's just also with the other curved modules that I did, I made them more streamlined. I made them a lot smaller, and they're a lot easier to move around and set up and pack away as well. And so I think at some point in the future, I may rebuild this end of the layout. I mean, it will be a long way off because I'm going to finish the rest of the layout first. But certainly if I can finish the rest of the layout, and then I think my next project might be to rebuild these two modules here so that they're a bit more of a sort of a slim form factor. If you saw the modular model railway episode I did where I was completing the circuit, I think it's literally called that, you can see that the two curved modules I've got at the other end are much more streamlined. They're a lot smaller, and they follow sort of the path of the track rather than being these great big squares. These the two field modules that I've got at the moment, where the J15 is running through now, they are great because you get lots of depth with them because they are really big modules. But because they're so big, they're so awkward to move around. So I think that's going to be one of those things where, you know how they say a layout is never finished. I think for me, it's going to be rebuilding some of the modules. But that is part of the modular model railway, is the fact that I can rebuild things and make things better as I get better at doing it. It doesn't mean I have to destroy the whole layout. I can just, you know, take those sections off, and I'll still have those sections to run and use potentially in the future. But I will still have some extra ones. You know, I'll just build some extra ones to run. Right. So we need to get the rocket running. So what I'm going to do, as we come round, we're going to go back to the field shot, and I'm going to try and find the J15 in the app. I've got so many engines now, I don't know where they all are in the app. It takes me a while to find them all. And then from here, we're going to come through into the station. We're going to bring it to a nice stop in the loop. And I think what we can do is we can leave the J15 here, and we can run rocket round into platform 2 and continue on its way from there. So if I do this, we're going to just have to bring the J15 up a little bit. Oh, we've got another super chat has come in. Who is that? Dagger2311 has donated £2 through the super chat. Oh, thank you so much. And that says B2 Peckett with teat coaches. Ah, fantastic. Right, okay, so the super chats are coming in thick and fast today. Thank you so much to everybody who's super chatted. So Dagger2311, we will get to your super chat in just a moment. I have to run round Rocket first for a little bit. and so it was Mark Hemmeldown who wanted to see the Mark Hemmeldown Model Railway wanted to see Rocket, and see the Rocket he shall. So I'm going to get everything set up here in the fiddle yard. I'm going to make sure I've changed the point so that we go through platform 2 and not into the back of the J15, because that would be embarrassing. So, okay, this is going to be interesting, everybody. Are you ready to see Rocket? It's coming. It's going to come out of the fiddle yard any second now. And here it is. Yeah, there we go. There's the Rocket, with a little train behind it as well. Oh, it's a fantastic little run of this. I do love it. And it's going to go through platform 2, so we can keep the J15 there. And you really get a sense of how tiny this little thing is. It's absolute insanity. Oh, and it disappears behind the Rocket there, doesn't it? Behind the Scotsman. It's just, yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah. There it goes, under through the tunnel. If you saw my if you saw my community post from a while back, it's the clearance on that tunnel with the funnel is close, shall we say? It's ridiculously close. So yeah. But finally, we actually seem to have an engine that is running really, really well. So who was it who wanted to see the B2 Peckett? So Dagger2311 asked to see the B2 Peckett. Do you have any preference on the B2 Pecketts? Because I have 2 of them. I've got a green one, and I've also got the NCB blue one. So I think if I don't see from you in the super chat, we'll probably run the green one, because I think it's a slightly better runner. However, that does rely on me finding it. Oh no, I've found it. It's in a different siding. Yeah, it's in a different siding, which is currently being blocked by a B1. So we're gonna have to get that B1 out of the way. We'll have to do a bit more shunting. Yay! So yeah. Trien Met Army says, it does suck how the Hornby Rocket can't actually drive good at its prototypical speed. It will, actually. I've just got it on a bit of a faster speed here because I haven't set up the decoder properly. So once I set up the decoder and actually, set the minimum speeds and everything, it will run properly. But it's when I had it on DC, it runs really, really nice and smoothly. So yeah, I wouldn't go bashing the Hornby Rocket too much. It's just, yeah, it's like I keep saying, it's user error more than anything. It's just because the Zimmo decoder that I've got in it at the moment just needs some setting up. So yeah, I think probably the Rocket is so small that the whatever motor is in it, is absolutely. I mean, it must be absolutely tiny, as you can see it going through the station now. But yeah, it's absolutely crazy. Anyway, let's have a look. So we've got the Rocket going through that. Right, so we need to get the B2 Peckett out at some point. So we need to move... Right, so we need to move the J15, I think, so that we can make some space everywhere else. So what I'm going to do, we're going to let the Rocket go... Oh, another super chat, this time from Zachary Cave, all the way down in Australia. And they say, could you run Stepney with a goods train? Also would love a video rundown on how the controller/power is hooked up to the layout at some point. Absolutely. So, yeah, we can definitely run Stepney for you with a goods train. Stepney is a bit of a finickety runner, so we shall see. He'll probably be stalling all over the place today. But, I mean, that's pretty much par for the course with this layout, so... Well, that'll be interesting. As for a video rundown on how the controller/power is hooked up to the layout. Now, are you talking specifically about this layout, or are you just talking about layouts in general? If you're talking about layouts in general, I have done a video on that already as part of my Model Railway Basics series. I believe episode 3 was all about wiring, so that covers DC and DCC as well. As for this layout, the controller, I think I did that in an episode as well. I sort of talked about it on, what should we, I can't remember what episode it was now. I think it was like episode 6 or something. I showed some of the wiring for it. But basically, there's a bus wire that runs underneath, which is basically just for DCC, it's a positive and a negative. Well, it's not really a positive and a negative, but for purposes of keeping things clear, I'm going to call it positive and negative for the moment. But there's basically 2 wires that run under each module, which connect to the rails, to the left rail and the right rail, and then basically those modules each connect to each other. Apart from the very end module, you don't want to connect it in a complete circuit because you need to have your power coming in from somewhere, and so the power comes in, basically just connects to one of the end modules, and that just comes straight from my controller. So it's actually relatively simple wiring wise. A lot of the modules, like the for example, let's say this curved module, because it is literally just a single piece of track that is curved round. The wiring on this module is literally the bus wire that just feeds, has a feeder to the one piece of track, and that's basically it. So yeah, as you see the rocket disappear, it's the same for that one as well. So I hope that makes a little bit of sense. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to let the rocket go around. Then we've got to get the J15 out of the way, because I want to get the Scotsman out of the way. So that, oh no, I don't want to get the Scotsman out of the way. I want to get the B1 out of the way, so that that we can get the B2 Peckett out of the way. Unless there. Oh, Dagger 2311 says, green, fantastic. Is that green as in like you're not sure about green, or is that well, I'm going to take that to mean that you're happy about it being the green one. If not, just say for definite in the chat that you would like to see the blue one. If not, I'm more than happy to run the blue one. The green one is just a little bit of a better runner. That's all. That's just all I'm going to say. So the J15 is running off at the moment. I've reset the points there. The rocket, meanwhile, is still running nicely, which is all good. I'm going to just faff around with everything in the fiddle yard just to make sure that just to make sure that the J15 gets back safe and sound before I start messing with anything else. Right, that is safe and sound there, so the rocket can continue running. And while we do that, I'm going to get the B1. We're going to get that out of. I'm probably going to have to do a little bit of right. This is going to be interesting here. So it's sort of coupled onto, right, if I can show you. So it's that loco that's sort of half sticking out of the shed, at the back of the shot. And I believe it's coupled onto another loco that I forgot I'd left in there. So I'm going to have to do a bit of pulling here, and it's probably going to, oh no, it's not got a coupling on the front. So I'm going to leave that there. And what I'm going to do, the rocket is going to come flying past in a second. And as that happens, I'm going to switch the points. We're going to run into platform 2, I think. So I'm switching points on the fly here. Oh, something seems like it's dragging along the track a little bit, which isn't good. And I'm just going to get those points back, and so hopefully you can now see in the station the B1 is out of the way. It's all very confusing that the Thompson B1 and then we're going to try and run the Peckett B2. They're completely different locos, but they've got similar classifications. Ah, right. Okay, so here comes the rocket again. That's going to go through platform 1 now, and I'm hoping that I've set all the points correctly, that it's not going to derail on the double slip or anything. So here we go. Hey, there it goes, sailing past the Flying Scotsman. So I'm going to go back to this shot here so you can sort of keep an eye on everything as it comes around that little section with the... sorry, I'm just checking the chat. And Dagger 2311 says green seems good to me. Fantastic. So keep your eyes on this little section here, and you should see the B2 turn up very, very soon. What did you want to run with this? Actually, I can't remember. Was it a goods train? I'm gonna have to go. Where's your super chat? I'm gonna have to scroll back to find it. Oh, B2 Peckett with some teak coaches. Fantastic. Okay. So we've got some teak coaches. That will work very, very nicely, I believe. Should we run the... yeah, let's... should we run the... we'll run the Peckett with those teak coaches that the Scotsman didn't want to pull earlier. All right, so I'm going to stop Rocket. Actually, no, I'm going to we'll let Rocket do another couple of laps just while I sort out some coaches. Oh, actually, no, I can't do that because I realised I didn't have enough space in the fiddle yard. All right, we'll watch Rocket come round, then I'm going to stop it in the station, and you'll see what I mean when I sort of talk about it stopping and starting. It doesn't really slow to a crawl. It just kind of comes to a complete dead stop like that. So yeah, actually we can get it a bit closer. There we go. We can stop it there. Right. So I need to run the B2 Peckett with some teak coaches. I need to find my teak coaches, and let's hope that these coaches actually work this time. That I'm hoping that it was just the Scotsman that was having trouble with that little bit of track, and that it wasn't actually the the coaches that were exacerbating the problem. So right, I need to get these coaches are now in the fiddle yard, so I need to get these round somehow. What loco am I going to bring these round with? Let's bring them round with an austerity, because they're a bit of the workhorse, aren't they? So right, lots of decisions that need to be made. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of cheating here, and I'm just going to remove the Scotsman from the track because it's slightly blocking the view, and also it means that I have some space that I can put the B1 into the siding. So that B1 that is in platform 2 at the moment, let's move that into the siding where the where Scotsman previously was. The Scotsman has mysteriously disappeared. No one knows where it's gone, but it has the advantage of meaning that we can put the B1 in the siding. So yes. So this B1 is a really nice smooth runner actually from Hornby. It's really nice, and hopefully we can see it now. That's going to come into the siding, and then we're going to slow it down, and hopefully we've got enough space there. It's a bit like a real heritage railway, isn't it? Where there's no space for anything. Okay, and so then what do we need to do? We need to get right, we're going to send round. What am I going to send round? I've got to try and work out where everything is going to go before it happens. So I think probably what I need to do is send the rocket off back into the fiddle yard so that I can make some space in. So, oh, hang on. Yeah, no, I have set the points. It's all right. It's fine. It's okay. So thank you so much to whoever suggested this. I can't remember who it was now. I will go back and check your name in just a moment. But yeah, there we go. There's the rocket. It's going to fly off under the tunnel now. And was that Mark Hemmeldown Model Railway, I believe, wanted to see this. So thank you so much for that fantastic suggestion there. Really glad we got to run the rocket round because, yeah, after the slight disappointment of not being able to run Scotsman, the rocket was the next one I wanted to see. So fantastic. Right, let's come back to the split screen now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this austerity to come round now with the teak coaches for the B2 Peckett. So yeah, it is a real gala sort of a real sort of gala, steam gala day today, isn't it? With every kind of train running. I've only given this 2 teak coaches because I just thought the B2 Peckett. I'm sure it's capable of doing more, but I think it's probably a bit more realistic for it to only be hauling 2 of these coaches. So hopefully that is all right. And it's going to come. It's coming into the platform now. That's coming into platform 1. And we shall slow this down. There we go. Bring it to a nice stop there. Right, meanwhile, we have on the bottom left of your screen, the B2 Peckett is sort of around about here. So we're going to switch some points to make sure that it can come out of the sidings. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it into the loop, into the station loop first, so that then I can put the then put the austerity into the siding as well. Actually, this B2 Peckett is such a good runner that it's so slow. Actually, it's which is a good thing. I don't mean that as a bad thing. That it's a really nice runner. So yeah, and hopefully you can see that is now just there on the top right of the screen. So I'm going to disconnect and uncouple the austerity. I'm going to try not to hit the back seam as I do this, but it's all right. So there we go. That is the austerity uncoupled. So now that is done, I'm going to run the austerity into the shed to replace where the B2 was. And another really nice runner actually. These austerities. I know I say this all the time, but yeah, for such old models, I believe these are old ex-Dapple models that Hornby took on. But they're just such good runners, especially on DCC as well. It's just fantastic. Like it's honestly amazing. The sort of what Hornby were able to do with these, and I suppose in some ways it's a bit of a shame that they've never updated the tooling, because the actual chassis and the model, it's the workings of the model itself is actually really nice. So anyway, I'm going to put that in a siding there. We're going to keep that out of the way, and hopefully Actually, speaking of austerities, I've got that other one that is hiding in the shed, so I'm going to move that out as well. So yeah, so you're going to see a brief appearance now from number 49, NCB austerity. Actually, let's show you this on the big screen there, and that's just going to sort of disappear off there. I'm just going to try and keep as much space in the shed as possible. So I'm just sort of putting everything in this little siding. You can just sort of see the front of it there. But anyway, let's go back to the station here, because we have that B2 Peckett that we need to run with these teak coaches. So we need to get that on the front of the train, and I'm going to do that now. So make sure all the points are set, and we're going to get the B2 running. Again, really, really nice, smooth, slow run of this. You've got to turn the controller up quite high to actually get it to you know, run in any kind of any speed. So yeah, I'm going to speed it up a little bit just because, you know, I would like it to be on the train sometime today. There we go. And then I'm just going to run it backwards now. You can see it appearing from behind the B1 there. And actually, once we get this running, we could put the B1 into the shed, which would give me some more space in the sidings and mean we can actually we can see what's happening on the main line on that yard shot a little bit. And here comes the B2 now. Try for a nice smooth couple up. Not my smoothest, if I'm perfectly honest. But yeah, we are ready to go, I believe. So here we go. We're going to get the B2 running. And I'm going to speed it up a little bit just because, again, I want to see things run. Meanwhile, just checking that I have everything set in the fiddle yard, which I believe is all good. Oh, and it stopped on that bit of track there. Why has it stopped there? This is after I said that it was a really nice runner. Go on, get going. Get going. Right, am I going to have to get the track cleaner out to sort out that little bit of track? That would be a bit annoying, wouldn't it? Right, so there we go. I'm going to put us onto this split screen here, and you're going to see the hand of God come in to do a little bit of track maintenance just on this little bit of track just before the scenic section here. I'll clean a little bit of this as well. Right, hopefully that'll be all right. If not, I can always do it. You know, we can always run it into the loop and run it round backwards and see if that works. But yeah, who was it? This was Dagger and then a series of numbers. I can't remember who it was. So Dagger 2311 said they wanted to see the B2 Peckett with teak coaches. So fantastic. Thank you so much. I hope this is all right. We're going to see now if it runs on this little bit of track here. If it goes on that bottom right screen, if it stops just before the tunnel, I'll be really annoyed. If it does that again, we'll run it. We'll put it into the loop and run it round backwards. Here we go. Is it going to work? No, it doesn't. Why does it stop there? That's really frustrating. Okay, well, next time it comes round, we'll stop it and we'll run it into the loop and we'll run it round the opposite way. Because that seems to be one way to keep things happy, is to just change the direction that they run in. And then we also have another super chat from, I believe it was Zachary Cave, who said, could you run Stepney with a goods train? Yes, absolutely we can run Stepney with a goods train. I will, once we get the B2 running properly, I say once we, you know, I'll get a goods train sorted out and we'll get the Terrier around so that it can run with those. Okie doke. So here comes the B2 now. That's going to come into the platform. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop it here. We're going to do a little bit of a run round loop sort of thing, and we'll put it on the back of the train and run in reverse. So I hope that's going to be all right, Dagger. And so we'll stop just there. I'm going to get the uncoupling hook out. There we go. Okay, so you will get to see it running again very, very shortly. So don't worry. We're just going to send it off into the yard. And then we'll run it back. Now that the points are changed. Oh, go on, speed up. It is a really nice, realistic, slow runner, but sometimes it does get a little bit frustrating when you're trying to sort of do things quickly, and you're like, oh, actually, I just need it to run. I don't need it to shunt right now. And it would be handy as well if I switch that point at the other end of the loop. There we go. And we can just stop it there. And then we'll run it onto the back of these trains here. Onto the back of these carriages, rather. And then while this is running round, we can use platform 2 to get a goods train together. There we go. So a bit of a bumpy start there, but we're gonna get it going fairly quickly now, or at least as quickly as this engine will run. I'm going to run it at a bit of a speedier pace as well. I've just realised as well that this engine isn't going to want to. That these carriages don't like going round this bit of track, do they? Mind you, they've made it that time all right. So hopefully everything will be okay. Hopefully, because they're not on the end of Scotsman, because they're on just a little tank engine instead, everything will be fine. Okay, so I think going around this bit of track here around the tunnel should be all right this time. Yeah, there we go. It's working now. Yeah, I don't know what was going on before. Anyway, I have realised that it is coming up closely to 3 o'clock. I think we're going to go a bit longer today because I do still have some super chats that I need to get through. Specifically, it was Zachary Cave wanted to see Stepney with a goods train. Well, I have a goods train on the layout. It's currently got the Ruston on the front of it at the moment, so I'm going to get the Ruston out of the sidings. So you can see the Ruston is sort of at the bottom left of your screen at the moment, and it's just starting to move now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this train out here. We're going to run that into platform 2. And then we can get the Terrier to join onto this. I mean, the brake van is technically at the wrong end, so we might have to move the brake van around a bit. But I'm gonna get Stepney onto the track now. I'm going to attempt to run him round. Now this could be quite dangerous because those coaches are derailed. Yeah, I said they didn't like it. I think I've sorted it. Right. I'm just going to have to keep an eye on that, I think, because I can't be bothered to change that again. Right, so I'm just thinking about what I need to do with this train to get the brake van on the other end. Or maybe we just run Stepney around in this direction, as in the reverse direction as well. Now we'll do a bit of shunting with him because I think it'll be fun. Right, I'm going to keep an eye on these coaches as they go around this bend now. Yeah, they don't like it, do they? Oh, thought I'd solved it, but I've made it worse. Oh, I have just had to stop the train there, just so that I can just so I can get Stepney running, which is hopefully coming around the track now. And I'm going to put this on. I'm going to put this into platform 2, just because I don't really have anywhere else to put it for the moment. So here is Stepney. Do you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to slightly change what I was intending. I'm going to get the Ruston to put that brake van back in. I'm going to get that to go back into the sidings. We'll leave it there. Oh, those coaches again. I'm going to have to do this every time, aren't I? There we go. Right, so that brake van is now in the siding. That's all good. So, actually, I can just unhook that like that, can't I? Oh. And then what I can do is I can leave the brake van there. Excellent. So, right, I'm going to run. I'm going to have to sort out these coaches again. Oh, no, that time I was there waiting, prepared for them, and they didn't do it. So, yeah, never mind. Okay, so Stepney is going to go. We're going to use the run round loop for Stepney now. He's going to couple onto the front of that North Stand wagon. That said, I am going to have to stop the Peckett very briefly, just because. Actually, it's just in the tunnel at the moment. So, can you actually see it on the? Oh no, you can't see it on the thing. It is just in the tunnel. But what I'm going to do is run Stepney through the loop and couple onto the front of onto the front of this goods train. Then we're going to get the Ruston to put the brake van on the back, and then we can run this around. It's going to be a very short goods train, I'm afraid, because I just don't have as many wagons as I thought I did on the layout. So there we go. Right, Stepney is just going to come back through the double slip, which he doesn't normally like, but he seems to be behaving today, which is good. Oh, I spoke too soon, clearly. He's just stalled on the point work there. Oh, no, he stalled on the point work because I hadn't set the point correctly. That's why. Yeah, operator error again. Again, it's a good thing I'm not a signalman in real life, isn't it? Because I would be absolutely useless. Actually, I'd be worse than useless. I'd be more dangerous. Oh! And there goes the back scene that everybody liked. Bit of a derailment with the Ruston. Oh dear, that wasn't good, was it? I knew that was going to happen at some point during these live streams. Right, let me sort all this out, this mess out here that I've made. Okay, right, that's there. Right, we're going to have to sort of sacrifice part of the back scene. That's fine though, because you can't really see the bit that's fallen on the floor. Yes, I did say it was temporary. Oh, all good fun. Right, and so now the Ruston needs to, we're going to run that round the back of the train, go pick up that brake van, and then put it on the back. So it is a real mega shunt, this. So let's get that in there. Someone seems to be going ballistic with a lawnmower outside, so my apologies if you can hear that on the stream. Let's go to this shot so you can see the Ruston run through. Just sort of on the main line, way. PH's Railways video says buy back scenes. yeah, it was a bit dodgy, wasn't it? Okie doke, and then I'll show you the yard shot here. And then what I'm going to have to do is bring the Ruston back through here. Is it going to make it through the double slip? Yes, it is. I've set the points correctly this time. And then we're going to run and pick up that brake van, which is just on the left of your screen at the moment. There we go. That's been picked up. So I'm going to bring this back into the platform now. And hopefully... yeah, so that's there. We're going to run this round and then put it on the back of the Terrier. Oh, it's gotten stuck on the double slip there. I don't know. That's a bit interesting. Oh, I know what it is. The point motor has got a little rod that sticks up through the mechanism, and I think it's just not been trimmed down enough. The Ruston is such a small little engine that anything that is like above the rail height will just stop it in its tracks. So there we go, and now I'm just going to flip those points, and we shall put this brake van on the back of this little goods train. A very, very small goods train. It's literally one wagon, a shunter's wagon and a brake van. There we go. And then we can disconnect. Let's disconnect this. I'm going to be careful not to hit the back seam this time as I uncouple things. And then I think what we can do, let's bring the B2 Peckett, which has been hiding in the tunnel all this time. I say the tunnel, it's just basically in the fiddle yard. I'm going to bring that out of here and we'll run that into platform 1, and then I think the Terrier can run through platform 2, I think. Just checking I have set all the points correctly. Yes, I have. Okay, there we go. So that is the B2 Peckett. That's going to sit in the siding there, I think, for a while. And I think what we can do now, at long last, we can get Stepney running. I will have to get that Ruston out of the way just afterwards, but I think that'll all be fine. So here we go then. Let's hope Stepney behaves today and runs properly. It's quite apt with that Southern Railway brake van on the back, isn't it? Well, it's made it over the double slip all right. It normally gets a bit stuck there, so that's really encouraging. I'm sure it'll now get stuck somewhere else on the layout. And there we go, disappearing off into the tunnel. It usually, do you know what? It's actually usually the points in the fiddle yard that it doesn't like. So I'll see if it makes it through now. Although saying that, it's made it through that bit all right. I do need to make sure I get the Ruston out of the way, because if you probably can't see it on the small screen, but it currently is just sitting in platform 2. It's moving across now in front of those in front of the camera, but yeah, that's going to disappear off into the sidings because there's a Terrier coming up behind it at a bit of a rapid pace. The Ruston again, another really nice loco. Hornby really seem to be really good at doing small locos that run really nicely. The Terrier, the Pecketts, the Ruston, the Rocket. Yeah, it's incredible. And there we go. Stepney has made it entirely round the layout. So I think that we've got all of the super chats are now we're up to date, aren't we? Because so we had a flurry of super chats come in. And I think I've managed to get through them all now. It's 3 o'clock, so I think we'll seeing as it's an afternoon, seeing as we haven't got to get to bed, we will make sure that we run for a bit longer today. I think we'll go for another half an hour because I'm having fun. I hope you're having fun too. We've got the Terrier running as well, and who doesn't love a Terrier? So yeah, we'll go for a little bit extra as well. We want to make this a big grand finale as well. So hopefully this will be good fun. We'll just watch the Terrier come round under the bridge now at the top left of your screen. It is very nice in this sort of improved engine green, which isn't green. But yeah, I do hope that Hornby have some sort of plan for the Terrier celebrations next year. Oh, it stopped on that point now for some reason. That's odd. Is it going to get going again? There we go. Yeah, Hand of God comes in to save the day. Anyway, I was just talking about the Hornby Terriers and singing their praises, and of course it stalled on a point as I said that. What was I talking about? Oh, yes, the Hornby Terrier celebrations. It would be really interesting. I think they might do something a bit like the was it the Gresley celebration, or the Sir Nigel Gresley thing with a few years ago? Oh, it's stopped on that bit of track now. I mean, it's picked itself up again. See, this is the annoying thing about model railways is 90% of the time things run round the circuit and it's all right, and then just like randomly one time they'll stop for no reason at all, and you have no idea how to troubleshoot something like that because it just there's no way of knowing what the issue is if it doesn't happen anyway. So yes, let's have a look at the chat. Well, actually, let me just go back to the super chats. So if you would like to request a loco to see on the layout, this is what we have on the layout today. These are all the tender engines that we have on the layout today. Now, we did try to run the Flying Scotsman a bit earlier on, and that wasn't particularly happy. We've run the Thompson B1 round a bit as well. That had a very brief outing, I think. What else have we run? Oh, the J15 has had a nice run round as well. But that is it for the I think the D class did like a lap or something before it decided to derail derail itself. But yes, so if you would like to see Beachy Head or the Schools class has also got sound in it as well, so that's exciting. The LNER J27, I have a feeling that's another one that will derail itself. And the LNER J36 as well. So please do send in a super chat if you would like to see one of those. We also, in addition to all of these tender engines, we've got lots of little tank engines as well. And on this screen, we have already seen the Rocket, we've seen the B2 Peckett Henry, and we have seen, we had a brief appearance from the Austerity number 22 at the top right there, and we currently have Terrier Stepney going round on the bottom left now. So if you'd like to see any of these other engines, please do send it in a super chat. Yeah, we're having a really fun little stream here today. So in the meantime, let's go back to the station and we can see the Terrier come through platform 2 here, and we've got that B2 Peckett hanging around there, which I'm probably going to have to get rid of at some point. So I think actually, yeah, now that we've got the Terrier out of the way, we can we'll send the B2 Peckett off, and as the Terrier stalls again for inexplicable reasons. Anyway, well, everything's gone wrong again. Oh, I just realised you're on the wrong screen as well. Let me bring you back to that screen there, and you can see what is actually happening. Although not much is happening because it's just the Peckett crawling away under the bridge. Right, so I'm going to get that off the track. Get these coaches off the track. And then we can get I'm basically running out of room in the fiddle yard is what's happening. Because I've got several trains set up, and then also at the same time as running other trains as well. So hopefully you can just see the Terrier moving through the fiddle yard, and it's going to come under the bridge any second now. There we go, as it comes round. Oh, and it stalls on that bit of track randomly now. It's not done that before. Come on, off you go then. There we go. Right, so I'm going to have to clean that bit of track now as well, aren't I? And we'll go back to the station. Oh, we've got a subscriber. Hello, who's that? That's Thomas Van Winchell. Is that how you... Winkle, sorry. And they just subscribed. Oh, thank you so much, Thomas. That's awesome. I'm just going to clean it. Oh, we've got another. Is that another subscriber? Paul Deverick has just subscribed as well. Do you know what? It might be a thing. My alert system sort of has a bit of a backlog on it. So I don't know if people have literally just subscribed at this moment, or if it's just suddenly catching up with itself. But thank you very much to who was that? Paul as well. Who's just Paul Deverick has just subscribed as well. So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you to all of my subscribers, really. I'm just going to clean the little bit of track here. In fact, I might as well do the whole section, really, while I'm at it. Seeing as this has been playing up a little bit today. There we go. Hopefully that'll be a little bit better now, but you can see, we'll see as the Terrier comes round. Is it going to stall again? Nope, totally fine this time. All right. Well, it's running through platform 1 now. And so, yeah, like I said, if you want to see a different loco run, if you'd like to see a passenger train run at any point, then do let me know by sending in a super chat, and you can send in your loco request well, there's a list running along the bottom of your screen currently at the moment, as the Terrier stalls again. Yeah. I'm just going to look at the chat, I think, for a bit while we let the Terrier run, because it seems to be all working now. For once, so yes, just looking at some of the strat on the main line. Says I'm a sucker for Pacific steamers. Yeah, they are nice, aren't they? Tim Maslin says, do you have a Hornby B12 in your collection? I don't, you know. Well, actually, that's a bit of a lie. I do have a very old. I do have an old. Well, I don't know if it's Triang or it's Hornby Railways, but it's like the old DC one from, like, you know, the 70s or something like that. So I mean, it's not actually capable of running on this layout, I think, because the wheels are so they're like the flanges are so big on it that I think they just scrape along the track when it gets to the point, so it just sort of stops dead, which is a bit of a shame. But I do keep seeing the modern B12s that Hornby have done, as that Terrier keeps stopping on that point for some reason. Do you know what? I'm going to go back to running it through the through platform 2, I think, because it seemed to cope with that much better. So I've just switched those points now. Oh, now it's randomly stopped at another bit of track as well, further around the corner. That's weird. Yeah, like I said, it's a bit of an inconsistent runner, this Terrier. It used to be fine on DC, and then on DCC, it's just sort of become a bit of a weird one. But anyway, yeah, I'll have to see if when I put DCC chips in my other Terriers, if the same thing happens. So what was I talking about? Oh yes, I was looking at the chat, and I've just seen one from the mod here that says Liam Worth asks if you'll run the Mallard live Steam on the layout. Yes, that is the plan eventually, and if I do manage to get it running on this layout, I will absolutely make a video of it. As you can see with how well things are running today, i.e. how well they're not running today, that's why I want to make sure that everything is good before the live Steam, before I run the live Steam on this layout, basically. So yeah, a lot of track testing to do, a lot of stuff that needs to be done, as the Terrier has just randomly stopped like twice and then saved itself, which is a bit bizarre. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with that one. So yeah, it's just working out the little kinks and quirks like that of, you know, things that don't work as you expect them. So once I've got the layout running really, really solidly and nicely, I think, you know, a good test will be actually getting the Flying Scotsman to go round properly, because you saw the trouble I had with that earlier. Now that's a Pacific, and so is Mallard. So once I get that layout, once I get the Scotsman running round, you know, without any problems, I think then I'll be sort of a bit more confident in sending round the live Steam Mallard. Of course, you know, if Mallard comes off the track, it's a bit more of a problem, because obviously it's boiling hot. It's, you know, made of steam, so it's not made of steam, but it's got high pressure steam inside it, and so it's you know, if it does come off the track, it's, you know, likely to burn scenery or, you know, cause more problems. It's difficult to pick up and rescue it. You can't just like put it back on the track. Basically, it's a bit more of an issue. So yeah, basically I just have to make sure that everything is okay before I try and film that video, and before I actually try the Mallard on the layout itself. So yeah, that is the plan though. I definitely would like to show it on the layout. I would definitely like to have Mallard running on this layout at some point. Tim Maslin says, live Steam, do you mean where they fitted a vape unit to the A4? No, so this is actual, Hornby did about a decade or two ago now. Hornby actually made live Steam engines in OO gauge. And so when I say live Steam, I don't mean an electric engine that has a smoke unit in it. I mean you fill the steam engine up with water. There's a heater inside it that turns that water into steam and pressurizes it. And then when you flick the controller, the steam the steam pressure that is inside the loco is what moves the loco forward. It is essentially a scaled down working steam engine. They have them in in sort of larger scales like G scale and 16mm and all that sort of stuff. It's more common in that, as Terrier keeps just randomly stopping on that bit of track. Oh, it's not saved itself this time, so I'm going to have to give it a bit of a push, get it going again. There we go. Yeah, so that is an interesting. They were this crazy thing that Hornby did ages ago. I think they brought them out in 2005 or 2006 or something like that. And I've got one, and I've done a couple of videos on it on my channel. So I've done a video where I showed me sort of resurrecting it, sort of getting it out of the box again after, you know, several years of it being packed away and getting it running again. And I also did a second video where I basically took the body off and I showed everyone how it works. And those videos have been really, really popular. So thank you so much to everybody who has watched those videos. I think I got a lot of subscribers out of that, so probably the majority of you who are watching have discovered me through those live Steam videos. But yes, Zachary Cave says, hey, do you reckon you could throw some 4 to 6 wheel coaches on Stepney now? Oh yeah, go on then, as it's you. We'll just stick them on the back. I won't do proper shunting this time. I'm just going to literally stick them on the back. But these will probably derail. I've got some 6 wheel coaches here, so that will do. I'll remove the brake van just for you know, keeping things mildly prototypical. There we go. So we got a couple of those teak coaches on the back. I know they're LNER coaches, but that'll do. I think this should be a nice little train, shouldn't it? I'm hoping that this is all. Oh, yeah, I said that, and it's it's just decided to stop again. Right? Maybe if I run it a bit faster. No. Yeah, go on. Maybe it just doesn't like these coaches. It really is struggling now. I don't know what's going on there. Oh, right, it's off now. Okay. Well, there you go. It's got a little goods train and then a couple of these six-wheel coaches behind it. We're going to see how this goes. Liam Worth says, "How did you just put those coaches on so smoothly? Lots of practice." Yeah, I spend. Well, actually, you say that I may not have actually got them on the track properly, but I think I have. I'm going to run Stepney through platform 1 now, just to see if I think these coaches will appreciate that a bit better. Hopefully, Stepney won't stall on the double slip now. No, made it through absolutely fine this time, so that's all good. Yeah, I have with filming videos and stuff. You end up having to take stuff off and on the tracks very, very quickly. Sometimes I get it perfect first try. Sometimes it's very not. I mean the six-wheel coaches are fine just because they're mostly quite rigid. It's just the center wheel sets you've got to be careful of. But yeah. Anyway, this is a nice little train. So thank you, Zachary, for suggesting that. Zachary K says, the coaches look like they hopped a little over the switch yard point on platform 2. Oh, that's interesting. Let's have a look at that as they go through. It's that double slip that's probably causing a bit of trouble. So let's see. Oh, and then Stepney just stalls on the point. If I pull him back and see what happens here. Go on, keep going. Keep going. There we go. Right, let's see what happens here. Yeah, they do rumble a little bit. I think probably it's just the Hornby wheel sets probably aren't just as fine as they could be. Because there's, like I said, because there's a bit of play in those center wheel sets on the six-wheel coaches, they probably just have a tendency to catch the insides of the flanges on. There's so much point work and stuff on that double slip that it's there's likely something to go, to not go. Well, yeah. Anyway. We'll see. We'll have to compare them to the Hattons ones when they come out. I have to say, I saw the Hattons ones at the Great Electric Train Show the other day. I saw the samples of them, and they do look fantastic. But I have to say, they're not like miles ahead of the Hornby ones. I think the Hornby ones and the Hattons ones you'll be able to put together in a little rake if you would like to do that. So yeah, that's certainly an interesting thing. Right. So what time are we at? We're at 20 past. We're at 20 past 3 now. I'm going to stop at 1:30 unless any more super chats come in. So if you would like to get a super chat in, now is your last chance. These are the locos that we have on the layout today. So do let me know if you would like to see any of those locos there. I'm not going to go through them all again because I've done enough talking of that. But don't forget, in addition to that, we also have all the tender engines as well. So yeah, do let me know if you would like to see any of these on the layout this afternoon. In the meantime, let's come back to the Terrier Stepney, which is running through the platform now. Lonely Signal Box says, "Is that the model Stepney?" Yes, it is. It is Stepney. So it's the Hornby Terrier, but it's one of the first ones they released, which was Stepney in his A1 guise. So it's not in his rebuilt form. Oh, sorry, I've left you on a bit of a boring screen there. But yeah, this is in his original as built form, and then of course he's since been, as a lot of the Terriers were, has been rebuilt into an A1X. So technically he's not right for preservation, but I think Hornby might do that next year. If they don't do it next year, I'll be very surprised. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I think I've said this on previous live streams. I think they'd be stupid not to do like a collector's pack where they do like all of the terriers that have been preserved. So that would be fantastic to see. And I think I would probably, shortly after they announced that, I would probably be very poor. Right, I'm going to do just a little bit of moving stuff around as well, unless there's any more questions. Liam Worth says, what is the most expensive damage that any of your model trains have sustained? And if you had any, what caused them? I could get some people into trouble here, which I probably won't. Well, probably the most expensive thing in the long term, I think I talked about this on one of my live streams earlier in the week. On my garden railway, on the garden railway I have outdoors in the garden, obviously. That's always run on DCC, and it had the LGB. Oh, it's stopped again on that point. The LGB DCC unit came into one of the cables that ran to the controller came into a bit of an altercation with a leaf trimmer, I believe, and yeah, you can figure out how. Well, basically, it meant that I had to buy it. After a lot of, I thought I could just replace the cable and just resolder it all. Turned out it wasn't that simple. So then I looked at getting a replacement LGB DCC system. Turns out they don't make that anymore. And in the end, I then ended up upgrading to a completely different DCC system, which is the Rocco Z21, which is what I use now. But in addition to also using it on the garden railway, this is what I use on the OO gauge stuff now as well. Before that, I was DC, and having to buy that new system so I could run the garden railway stuff meant I basically went, oh yeah, I might as well upgrade everything to DCC and have it all on one system, which meant that I had to buy decoders for all, for my masses of OO gauge engines as well. So that's probably from basically one little cable getting a bit of damage to it. I have ended up spending a lot of money on an expensive DCC system and then lots of decoders as well. So that's probably a situation which. Well, I mean, I suppose you could say it's worked out for the better in the end, because this layout would have been a nightmare to build if I wasn't on DCC. I wouldn't have wanted to figure out all the switching sections and routing power and everything if I was on DC. It is quite nice to have it on DCC. Yeah. SHGP Virtual Aviation says, hi there, I discovered your channel a couple of days ago whilst researching modular model railway construction. Your videos have been very useful. Thanks. Oh, well, fantastic. Thank you so much. That's really, really... oh, sorry. A little bit of a derailment there as I was answering your... I was replying to your comment there, but it seems to have sorted itself out. Anyway, yeah, thank you so much. It's really really great to hear that you have found the modular model railway videos and that you found them so useful as well. So yeah, it's always really, really nice when people enjoy the layout and the videos that I make. So yeah, thank you for joining us. Liam Worth says, I would never have guessed a garden railway would be in the garden. That must be a major pain. Yeah, it was a bit of a pain. I've had a couple of locos drop on the floor as well. Again, that wasn't my fault. So yeah, one of them was a limited edition as well. And I'm not going to tell you what that was because it was about 10 years ago now, and I'm still gutted about it. So I'm not gonna. We're gonna leave it there. So yeah. On the main line says, my friend's younger brother dropped one of my models. It shattered pretty much, and he couldn't care less. But he did when he had to pay for a new one with the money he'd saved up to buy a Pokemon. Wow, that's well, yeah, it's a bit. It's not only is it bad when something like that happens to a model, but when someone is indifferent about it as well. But yeah, it sounds like he got the comeuppance in the end. So hopefully he'll be a bit more careful around models in the future then. Or maybe what you need to do is enforce a strict no touching rule. Yeah. So. Carl's Garden Railway says, hello everyone, thank you for showing my video on the last stream. No problem, Carl. That was a fantastic video. Really, really enjoyed that one. So, yeah, I'm amazed that you how well your OO gauge stuff was running out in the garden. I think I said at the time when I showed your video that I have enough trouble running my G-scale stuff, which is much, much bigger. And I probably can't get it to run anywhere near as well as you had your OO gauge stuff running. So, really impressive stuff. Yeah. So I think what I'm going to do, let's bring Stepney to a stop. We'll run one last train just for me, I think. Or maybe one or two. We'll stop Stepney when he comes through the, well, actually, he's coming through the station now. So we'll let him go back into the fiddle yard. But we're going to do another 5 minutes, unless another super chat comes in. So like I said, if you want to request a loco to run, the list of engines you can request is currently going across the bottom of the screen now. Otherwise, I think we're going to stop Stepney now, and we'll run another. I'll run another quick engine just for me, just because I'd like to see it running, and also because it's another one of those ones that I haven't actually run yet, so it's going to be interesting to see how well it copes. So I'm going to flip some points in the fiddle yard, and there we go. Hopefully that is all working. So I'm going to get. We're going to try and get this thing running. Let's see how well this runs. You'll see it coming out from under the bridge now, hopefully. Any second. And it is Beachy Head. It's the H2 Atlantic from Bachmann. And it seems to have coped with that dodgy bit of track all right, so I'm hoping that actually it's going to be all right. Yeah, really, really nice loco, this. I'm really glad I've got a decoder for it now, because it's a really, really nice runner, and I've not really been able to show it much on the channel. I believe, isn't it the Bluebell Railway as well, are able to... they are rebuilding a new version of this, aren't they? It's not. They're not restoring it. I think were they all destroyed, or were they all scrapped or something like that. So yeah, I think it's the H2 Atlantic project at the Bluebell Railway is actually rebuilding Beachy Head. So that will be really. I'm really excited to see that when it finally comes back into Steam. Is finally steamed up for the first time, I should say. It won't be coming back to Steam because it's never been steamed before. Yeah, I don't really know much about the project, but I'm excited to see it. And I believe as well that Bachmann donated a portion of the sales from this model to the H2 Atlantic Trust, or the group that is currently working on restoring or building the engine. So yeah, I felt like I was doing my bit, and also because it's they're rebuilding this engine, I sort of felt I could justify having it on a preservation railway as well, on my little preservation line. So yeah, hopefully it won't be too long before we see that in Steam again. But yes. Oh, Pebs Production says yes, Bluebell is building a new Beachy Head with an old IVAT C1 boiler. Ah, fantastic! I did not know that. So presumably then the IVAT C1 boiler is similar to what Beachy Head would have had originally? Is that some sort of standardization thing? I don't really know much about the Atlantics, to be honest. They're such sort of, they kind of look like normal locos, don't they? But they've just sort of got something a bit different about them, aren't they? They're really, really sort of unique, aren't they? So I'm going to do a little bit of shunting. I'm going to get that B1 that's in the sidings out of the way. Also because it's a bit of an extra movement, so you can just sort of see that moving now across the bottom left of the screen. It'll come into the station on the top right any second now. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it in another part of the siding. So I'm just going to move some stuff around here. Put that down there. And this will just clear up this view here so that we can see stuff a bit better as the Atlantic goes past. I did want to end on a sort of a big express. Well, it's not really a big express train, is it? When it's only got 3 carriages, but it does look good. So I wanted to end on something like this. So yeah, this has been a really fantastic little series of streams. I don't know if we'll ever do this again because it's been a bit of a nightmare from my point of view, like coming up with interesting things to do for each stream. So I think probably but we are approaching 6,000 subscribers quite rapidly. So who knows when the next live stream will be. But yeah, thank you so much to everybody who has been tuning into these live streams, especially let's have a quick thing in the chat now. Do let me know in the chat if you've been here for all 5 of the live streams. I'm interested to see how many of you have been here. So yeah, that would be really, really cool. I suspect it probably won't be many of you, but yeah, it'll. I'm curious to see how that. I'm curious to see how dedicated you guys are. I suspect really you should probably be busy off building your own model railways and not worrying about mine. But I do appreciate you all hanging out with me and watching me basically play trains. And thank you for all the awesome suggestions we've had over the live streams, not just today as well. But I'm going to go back and say, over the course of today's live stream, we've had Zachary Cave has sent in a super chat. Mark Hemmeldown Model Railway has donated as well. Dagger2311 and Sparky129 as well. Thank you so much for those awesome requests, everybody. And yeah, Tim Maslin says he's been here for all 5. Eben Muddle has been here for all 5 as well. Sparky129 says he's only been here for today and the end of the Q&A. No worries, mate. That's absolutely fine. Taylor says, I've been to 3 of the streams. Does that count as 5? I'm not particularly good at maths, so yes, we can count that. Liam Worth says, I've only been able to attend this live stream, but I've watched the replay of the rest. Oh, fantastic. Well, that's just as good in my opinion. Yeah, if you can't join us live, do remember that you can always catch up on the live streams. They're always available on the channel afterwards as well. So yeah, I think it's coming up to 3:30 now. So I think what we'll do, we'll bring Beachy Head round the layout one last time. We'll watch it come into the station, and we'll call that the end of the live stream. I think we'll call that the end of the 5,000 subscriber live stream extravaganza. But yeah, this has been absolutely incredible. Thank you so much to all of you guys for joining me. And thank you again for 5,000 subscribers. I never really expected the channel to get this big. And I mean, we're still relatively, quite a small channel in terms of some things. But yeah, I'm excited to see how big it continues to get and how it continues to grow. And I love the little community that we have going on the channel here as well. I do have a video coming out tomorrow as well. After all the excitement that we've had this last couple of weeks with all the live streams, it's going to be a bit more of a simple video that should be out tomorrow evening. It's going to be a little shorter one, but you will get to see Pickwick Yard in that as well. So yeah, hopefully you guys will enjoy that as Beachy Head has now come to a stop in the platform. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. This has been really, really fun to do for you guys. Again, thank you so much to everybody who has super chatted. Thank you, or sent in a super chat, I should say. Thank you so much to everybody who has watched along and watched the replays and been in the chat. And yeah, thank you to everyone who has subscribed. So that's going to be it from me. I do hope you have a wonderful rest of your Saturday afternoon and the rest of the weekend. For now, though, that is going to be it from me. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in another video fairly soon. All right, bye for now.